Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Josh. Hope you're doing well. Today was an amazing day. Something crazy happened to me, and I just had to tell you about it. It's going to sound a little weird, but I'm going to tell you a little story about a chicken, and it's going to change the way you view sales. So if you're in sales, watch this video all the way to the end. Heck, if you're not in sales, watch this video all the way to the end. Because what I learned today from this, well, you can probably hear them. What I learned from these girls today, it's going to change things for you. So, really quick story. Doing some work on the chickens today, bumming around the coop and the garden. We like to get the chickens out, get them in the garden, and they can eat weeds and eat some grass or bugs or whatever, as chickens do. And as far as our chickens go, we definitely have a leader in the hen house, if you will, a leader of the pecking order. That's old Peggy. Peggy, she's a sweet girl, but Peggy does what she wants. All right, Peggy makes the decisions, and that's just the way it is. So we're in the garden there, and old Peggy decided, she said, well, I had enough of garden time, and I'm going to get out of here. So we had the gate on the garden was open, and she decided she was going to make a run for it. And I'm talking full up sprint. Peggy was gone. I mean, she was out of there. And so now it's like, okay, mission impossible. What are we going to do? We got to get Peggy back into the coop or somewhere safe. There's hawks and other dangerous things, and you can't just have a chicken running around, right? So mission to get Peggy back in. So it's like, okay, how are we going to do this? So first attempt was, I'm going to chase her, and I'm going to grab her, I'm going to put her back in, I'm going to put her in the coop, right? Let me just brute force this thing, full sprint. I take off, I'm running around. Here's old Josh trying to chasing a chicken around the place, trying to grab her and get her back in the coop to keep her safe. Turns out what they say in the movies about chickens being fast and it being really hard to catch chickens, yeah, that's true. It is very hard to catch a chicken. They are fast. So let's just say the old brute force option, me chasing Peggy around the yard, trying to grab her and get her back in the coop, that wasn't working. She ended up kind of finding a little sweet spot there in the trees and underneath the thorns and all that. She's a smart girl. She got in there where I couldn't get to her anyways. So I thought, okay, all right, option two, let's use some tricks, try to maybe lure her out. So dug up a couple worms and got some weeds together and said, come on, old Peggy, come on, out of there. Tried to coax her on out. Come on, Peggy, come on, come on, give her a little treat. So thought maybe she'd start to come, and sure enough, she does. She starts kind of easing her way towards me. She seemed kind of calm, but a little hesitant. And she gets about halfway to the way to me. I'm thinking, here we go. She's going to get here. I'm going to grab her. It's great. This trick worked. Halfway there, she's like, nope, I'm done. Not today, Josh. Sorry, bud. And she just kind of just turns and nice and eases her way on out of there. Goes back to her spot in the woods. So option two didn't work. The tricks, no go. So I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to get Peggy back to this coop, keep her safe? So what do? I take the long way. I decide I'm going to go around. I'm going to just kind of gently ease her from behind and just kind of, walk her back in. Let her make the decisions, let her make the choice, and just kind of guide her where I want to go. So that's exactly what I do. I go around, I kind of get behind her, and I just slowly, I'm not going fast, not trying to scare her, just kind of taking my time, not coming in with too much speed or energy or being too loud or anything like that. I'm just kind of easing my way in. Come on, Peggy, come on in there. Next thing you know, she starts slowly walking away from me, because I assume because she didn't want to get caught, right? So she's just kind of walking away from me, and I just kind of guide her along the path around the coop there and back towards the open door. I left it open for her, hoping I would get a chance to just walk her back in. Sure enough, old Peggy, she just calmly just walks her way right back into the coop. Goes on about her day, no problem. Easy for me. I didn't have to touch her. She wasn't freaked out. It wasn't painful. All I did was I was just kind of her guide. I just kind of guided her in, got her to go where I wanted her to go by letting her make the decision to go where she wanted to go. So that's the big learning. Look, I've done all the for all this time, all these sales trainings I've done, all the coaching and all the stuff that I've done over the years. It was the chickens that finally gave me the best analogy that I've had for what it means to be, or how to be, a great salesperson. See, that's the trick. A great salesperson doesn't just take option one and just high energy, just cram their products down someone's throat and just try to force them into submission, right? It wasn't just about running up on Peggy and trying to grab Peggy and get her to, and throw her back into the coop, right? That didn't work. In fact, that was worse. She ran away and it made it even harder. She tucked into the thorns and now it was a big problem. I mean, it was even harder to get her out. So option one, no good. Option two, trying to use these sort of, tricks to entice her or get her to, to kind of trick her into doing what I wanted. Didn't work either. She started to come up there, but then she, jig was up, right? She sniffed me out. She realized, no, this ain't it. I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do that, right? But the third option, where I just kind of guided her along, she wanted safety. All she wanted was safety. She didn't necessarily not want to be in the coop. She just wanted to go where she wanted to go. And ultimately, she didn't want to be caught by me. So what did I do? Well, I made that easy for her. I just kind of guided her along. And that was it, right? I just guided her on into the coop. She made the decisions. And that's the key to sales, right? You don't have to force people to do. You don't have to use these tricks and all this other stuff. Just work with your prospects. Heck, again, even if you're not in sales, that's the best way to go about it. Look, it's not about forcing people. Just work with people. Let people make the decisions on their own. Guide them where you want to go, and you're going to be a whole lot more successful, especially in sales. That's the beauty of the way we train people how to sell. That's the beauty of our training program. That's how we teach people how to sell. We teach people how to work with prospects in order to arrive at, ultimately, a place where you're both happy. You're selling more. And, oh, by the way, you have a lot more happier customers because it was such a great process. And it is something that they decided on their own that they wanted to do. Right? They made the decision. You didn't tell them what to do. And so that's the beauty of our training program, the Pitchless Selling Training Program. So remember the story of old Peggy. When you're selling, when you're talking to your on your next sales conversation, talking to your next prospect, you want to be a great salesperson, remember, sweet Peggy back there. It's not about just trying to force people to do what you want or force your product or service down their throats. Start working with your prospects, right? Make it their idea. Let them make the decisions. Let them arrive at the conclusions that you want them to arrive at, and you'll be selling a whole lot more. If you want to learn how to get Peggy back in the coop the right way, reach out to me and learn more about the Pitchless Selling Training Program. Until next time, I appreciate you dialing in. I hope it's a gorgeous night where you are. It sure is here. And we'll talk to you soon. All right, we'll see ya.